the Tekken community.
Oh, what is going on, guys? Awp here, and welcome back to the What the Hell is Yoshimitsu special, where last time we discussed the past of Yoshimitsu. We discovered that there were two Yoshimitsus in Soul Cal from 1 to 5, and the first one gave his abilities to the second by having the sword taste of his own blood. The sword's power was just too great to leave untamed after the first one got too old to use it. Now, a lot of people still think that Yoshimitsu is an alien because the Tekken 1 manual says that he's a ninja from space. This line is nothing more than a joke for the reader. I mean, look at his appearance in the game. That does not look human, especially on early PlayStation graphics. There's also the argument that since every Yoshimitsu is ritually sacrificed and replaced, that every Tekken game features a brand new Yoshimitsu. But that is also wrong, and that's because every Yoshimitsu in every Tekken game is left-handed, whereas all the Soul Calibur ones are right-handed. The likeliness that you are left-handed when you were born is about 10%, barely significant to the overwhelming 90% of the world that is right-handed. That means that every Yoshimitsu in every Tekken is the same guy. I mean, how likely is it that a left-handed man gets into the Manji clan and becomes the second greatest warrior and becomes the new Yoshimitsu? Not very likely at all. Tekken begins in 1990 because there's a stage called Marine Stadium, which is a real-life place which opened its doors on February 2nd, 1990, so Tekken can take place no earlier than that. So the story starts like this. Rumors of a great tournament spread around the world. A 20th century Yoshimitsu lives in Japan and hears that Ganryu, a man who was kicked out of sumo wrestling for fixing fights and pocketing large amounts of cash, is a henchman of the evil conglomerate, the Mishima Zaibatsu, whom he finds out is running the King of Iron Fist tournament. The Manjito's plan is to enter the tournament and steal the funds from Ganryu's stash and use Yoshimitsu as a decoy. Never mind the fact that he could just try to, I don't know, win the tournament for $1 billion freaking dollars. You can also see in this design that he has human skin. He stays in the tournament long enough for the Manjito to steal Ganryu's stolen money and they get the hell out of there. At the end of the game, you can see Yoshi and his clan giving back the money to the poor neighborhood that was affected by Ganryu's greed. In the second game, Yoshimitsu learns that the Mishima Zaibatsu has Jack 2 machines that run on an infinite energy engine. So he and a team go infiltrating their labs where Dr. Boskanovich is currently employed. Yoshi and his team get spotted and have to make a retreat. During their escape, he gets targeted by a military-grade laser and it cuts his left arm clean off. Now hold on a second, you're telling me that this is where the end of the 20th century Yoshimitsu gets his arm cut off? Then how the hell was he holding this cursed sword the whole time in Tekken 1? Simple. This Yoshimitsu had a prosthetic arm, so when this Yoshimitsu first picked it up, this is the appendage that was sacrificed. The history makes a specific effort to tell us that after the escape, Dr. B accompanied the clan so that he could give Yoshimitsu a cybernetic arm. And that's why it's not until Tekken 2 Yoshi can't do any helicopter move. Later we learn that Kazuya kidnaps Dr. B to work for G-Corp. And so to return the favor to his friend, Yoshi enters the second King of Iron Fist tournament run by Kazuya to save his new friend. This ends up happening when Yoshimitsu rescues Dr. B from a helicopter and flies away with his right hand. Okay, now he's holding the sword in the wrong hand. Yoshi was not given one, but two cybernetic arms. Well, the Yoshimitsu from times past developed a fighting style where the stance points the right side of the body forward. That means at some point between Tekkens 1 and 2, this Yoshimitsu tried to hold the sword with his right hand in order to achieve the right foot forward stance. And it didn't work because the sword tested him yet again. How unfortunate. Which means that Dr. B had to fit him with yet another cybernetic arm before getting captured. It's not impossible. Also, his armor this time around is really revealing. That's human skin right there. But why did he choose to use his right hand here? He's still left-handed. You don't just randomly choose to be right-handed. It's because he has to carry a fully grown man in an emergency situation. He's using the dominant left half of his body to make sure that he doesn't drop his friend he's trying to save. Are you still with me, YouTube? In Tekken 3, he's this alien-looking thing. This is Yoshimitsu's most popular appearance. Boskanovich is hard at work trying to acquire eternal life, but in the long run of his experiments, he accidentally gives himself a disease that he finds can only be cured by the blood of the recently discovered Aztec god of fighting, Ogre. By the way, This guy is an alien. Look it up. Yoshi enters the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3 to get Ogre's blood. Even though he doesn't win the tournament, he most likely got the blood from the Mishima Zaibatsu. Yoshi has a habit of stealing things. When they test the blood on a lab rat, it becomes a giant and chases after them. That sound you hear is Yoshi's armor shifting around as he carries Dr. B yet again under his dominant left arm. In Tekken 4, he's a cockroach, but you can clearly see under his helmet for the official art for the game that there's a guy under there. You can see the human skin as well as his ear. At this point in time, the clan is low on funds, so he enters the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 to steal money from the Zaibatsu's vault. While pulling this off, he notices Brian Fury, a cyborg sent to kill him, dying on the ground, so he brings him to Dr. B to fix him up. And he doesn't yet know that Brian is meant to kill him at this point. Yoshi's ending in Tekken 4 is non-canon because it depends heavily on Yoshimitsu winning the tournament, but what we can get out of it is this sound. That's the sound of armor yet again. But Brian's Tekken 4 ending is canon because we can see Dr. B telling Brian that he knows that he's a cyborg created by Dr. Abel and that it will make him mostly machine in order to save his life. In exchange, Dr. B will keep Brian's original body so that he can use it himself. The idea is that Brian would become basically Brian 2 and Dr. B would become Mecha Dr. B. He tells Brian that this process would take a year. Finding his body to be too complex, Dr. B fits him with a perpetual generator, a rebuild of the previously mentioned infinite energy engine. That's some ghetto-ass robotics right there. Hey, yo, dog, I couldn't figure out how you work, you know what I'm saying? So I stuck one of those energy things I got in the corner over there so you can live while you're fighting. Yeah. In Tekken 5, a month later, Brian wakes up way too early and slaughters all the members of the Maji clan who are present, as well as seriously wounding Dr. B. We know this because in Brian's prologue, Dr. B has just been attacked and is lying on the floor. But when Yoshi gets there in his prologue, Dr. B isn't even there. After that, no one really knows what happened to him. But I can tell you that he had time to make a Lisa in Tekken 6. Just saying. Yoshi enters the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 to go after Brian with the intent of killing him. And clearly this time, he's just wearing armor. I don't think I need to tell you that. However, the sword begins to hunger in a similar fashion that the Soul Edge once did before. But instead of wanting fragments, it wants blood. Otherwise, the sword threatens to make its user go insane and produce the same effect as the Soul Edge did with Cervantes to use its power to spread death in the form of large massacres. So in Tekken 6, he forgets Brian because fucking crazy Demon Blade wants food. Yoshi is surprisingly okay with this. I mean, he literally had to kill an entire district of fighters just to enter the first tournament, so this should be no problem. Luckily, he acquired a sword called Fumaken, which has the ability to suppress evil within the cursed sword even further, which was originally given to Yoshimitsu II as a gift. Apparently, he's never heard of holy water. Even so, the cursed blade won't stop hungering until it absorbs more evil. So he brings both blades to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6, where evil usually tends to gather. This way he can keep his sword in check. Something good must have happened because in Tekken 7 we see him using the same two swords, although he switches to his second sword to do his rage art. And his appearance in Tekken 7 is much different than 6 because it is yet again another suit of armor. But in Tekken 7, Yoshi appears to me like he might be entirely cybernetic. Think about that for a bit. That would mean that Boscanovich still might be out there and this is his doing. But that last part is just my theory. The only question to answer now is where the hell does Yoshimitsu get all these crazy suits of armor that we know now are just armor? Easy, guys. They're all stolen. Yoshimitsu is a thief. That's why in every game, all of the articles of clothing don't truly look like they go together, but are items taken away from wealthy men in their estates, from army camps, from shrines, etc. And then I'll bet you they take all of those items they get and create new functional armor pieces from the best hauls they get that the clan just happened to bring in from whatever was available during that time period. I mean, explain to me how some cockroach technology is gonna help some needy people. That's something that you would keep. And that, my friends, is what the hell Yoshimitsu is. A ninja, a master swordsman, a leader, a legend, a good doer, a hero, a friend, a risk taker, an avenger, a problem solver. Human. We could all learn something from Yoshimitsu. He just might be a little more human than all of us. Because when times get tough, he adapts. Hey guys, thanks to everyone who left feedback on the last one in part 1. I don't think I would have completed it. It really pushed me forward to do a second one since everyone really liked it and gave me all that feedback. And thank you to everyone who subscribed. That's really awesome. That makes me appreciate all you guys. And thanks to Chorus Tekken Academy for allowing me the privilege to post my content on their forum, because essentially they realize that I only post good content and they appreciate what I do, and I just want them to know that I appreciate them right back. Also, thanks to the mod there, Josh, for standing up for me. You're awesome, dude. That's all I can say. If you don't know me yet, I'm AwpWilliams, and I play Tekken on my channel as well as some other games, and I'm definitely going to try to get around to something besides Tekken right now. Don't ever let anything stand in the way of what you want to do, and I'll see you guys next time. Ow!